All righty. Well, I had something wrote down. Hey, everybody. Hope everybody's having a good day. I can't say that my day was ruined. I can say that I just heard some things I've been expecting for some time. I just didn't know when to be said. Hello, Susan. Hello, Tina. Be said. Hello, Susan. Hello, Tina. Centaur. Mickey, Robbie, Carl. Well, thank you, Susan. Hello, Monica. Citrus Prepper. Good evening. Hello, Kimberly. Karen, good to see you from Arizona. Hello, Debbie from Northern Michigan, and Marie W. Oh, I'm doing good. I know a lot of people are going to be really disheartened over the president's speech today, but I wanted to talk about it just for a few minutes here before I uploaded my other video. I do have another video I'm going to be putting on here just when I get done with this. But after I heard his speech and kind of listened to it, kind of been mulling it over in my mind and my thoughts, and kind of gathering my thoughts about it and wondering what everybody else was thinking. Let's see here. Karen, let's see, from Arizona. Debbie from Michigan. Hello. Marie T. Love. Good evening to you from Missouri. HVAC1. How you doing? I used to do HVAC for a living. Mariposa, hello. Gina, good evening from Buffalo, New York. Good to see you, Gina. Tana, CJ from Kentucky. Chicken Prepper. I don't think any of this has really been a what I would call a surprise. It's been something that I've been expecting, but I just didn't know when to expect it. I've got to be careful what I say in this video, or the video could be taken down. So, and HVAC's from Iowa. We've always had a suspicion where they stood now and what they felt and what they thought. But today, they have totally exposed themselves as to where they stand. The leadership of this country and the leadership of the world. They have give us an open letter today, you might say, as to where they stand and what their intentions are. Now, I had been worrying, or not worrying, but wondering. We watched Australia. We have watched them come under the boot. They have the boot right on their neck right now. They have been under lockdowns for over 200 days straight. Just terrible, terrible conditions over there for the people. We see the same thing come into Canada. I was going to do a separate video about that, but I'm just not going to. I'm going to go ahead and talk about it right here. Canada is under the gun right now from their prime minister, and they are going through a lot of changes. And if you care to get online and research a little bit, you'll see that they're heading exactly in the same direction that Australia is already in. And it looks to me like we're going to be probably going to be next in line. Now, when I talk about this stuff and I watch these, when I watch these people talk, these supposedly elected leaders, ah, it's real difficult to just sit and listen. I just about want to throw up when I hear their voices. I'm just telling you. We've got a governor here in our state that when I hear his voice, I could just about puke. And it's the same way with these elected officials right here. Oh my goodness. If you want to know when these people are lying, watch them. And every time they open their mouth, you'll know they're lying. With the exception of when they're telling the truth of things that are going to benefit them. That's the only time they tell the truth. If it's going to benefit them, they'll tell the truth. Otherwise, they are lying. And today, there was a mix of that told. There was a ton of lies told. And there was some truth told. And you just have to get in it and dig it out and separate it all, okay? Now, I shared a video, and I'm not asking you to go look at it. I don't care if you go over there or not. I don't care if anybody here goes over there or not. But I put a video on our locals channel the other day, and it talked about the governor of West Virginia. Now, he said out of his own mouth that people who had been fully verified twice, that the increase of infection had raised 21% in 8 weeks. He also said that people who had been verified twice, that in 8 weeks, the hospitalization rate for them had raised over 20-something%, 25%, I think. I may have those two numbers backwards. One was 25 and one was 21. And then the death increase for those who have been fully verified twice, the death increase percentage in 8 weeks had raised 26%. So apparently the president forgot to talk to him before he got on TV and started making these announcements. I have been listening today to people in the medical field, nurses who have been in registered nurses who have been in the business for 25 years. It's been their career, that have quit their jobs, that have walked off their jobs or going to walk off their jobs. We have a friend that we know that has been working in a nursing home for several years, many years. She was told that as of the 27th, if she wasn't fully jabbed, that she would no longer have a job. And she said, well, as of the 27th, I'm losing my job. Now, what people don't understand, and we understand this from listening to these people talk that have been in this profession for years. And I have a cousin that's been in the profession for years. And what people don't understand about hospitals, when they talk about these hospitals being full, if a hospital isn't full, it isn't making money. They want to be full, because if they're not full, they're losing money. And when it comes to the nursing staff in hospitals, these people are worked to death. They are always called on and expected to work overtime because they are always. Find me a hospital in the United States that's not understaffed. And there's a purpose for that. The less high dollars you have to pay out for these people that work these positions, the more money the people at the top make. It's just that simple. But all the hospitals are understaffed already. And now we have a mandate from a president who has said that everybody that works at any of these facilities like this, nursing homes, hospitals, anybody that Medicare, Medicaid, anything like that, that it is a mandate now that they get verified twice. And if they don't, they're going to lose their jobs. Well, we're already short-handed. So what's that going to do? Yeah. My advice, now this is just my advice. I think it's going to be a hard winter for some people. Not everybody, but for some people. I'm not saying this is the end of the world or any of that kind of stuff. I'm not trying to say the sky's falling on top of you and all this stuff. I'm just saying that there are things coming. There'll be some of it will happen this winter. Some of it will follow up in the spring and the summer and the fall. But there are things coming. And if there was a time to get ready for stuff, it's now. Get your house in order. Now, I know I've been criticized for saying that in the past, but if people can't read the handwriting on the wall and couldn't read the handwriting on the wall for the last couple of years or so, something's wrong. There's stuff going on way beyond what was talked about today. And again, I can only say so much without having to worry about being right then there was just a notification come up on the phone and said major city has become the first city to mandate all their students become verified. All of them. It didn't say. But they must have listened to the speech and just got right at it. So here's the deal, guys. One of the things that was said that every business that employs 100 people or more is now going to have to mandate their workers to be verified. That's that right there, verified. And if they're not verified, then they have to be tested twice a week. Now, I've listened to several people talk about these tests. People who have had to take the test twice a week. I've listened to people talk that have had to take these tests, and people talk that know what these tests cost. And these tests cost about $150 per test. And these people will have to pay it out of their own pockets. So everybody that owns a business that employs 100 people or more, their employees are either going to have to be verified or pay $300 a week to get tested. How do you think that's going to work out for them? How do you think what do you think is going to happen to the unemployment then? What do you think is going to happen to the businesses then? We didn't close enough businesses last year, see, so we've got to finish up. We've got to finish it up. We got to finish the job we started. And he made it very clear that he intends to do that, just that. He intends for this to happen. And he's tired of these people that are unverified, and he understands why people are mad at folks who are unverified. Well, in my opinion, the verified are no better off than the unverified. The unverified shouldn't be fighting with those who are verified. The verified shouldn't be fighting with those who are not. All this politics, buddy. We're going to see this country collapse as a country before this is over. We just heard I can't think of what she is. She's the one that's over all the finances of the United States. And she just announced the other day that we've got about 3 months, I think she said, left before this country will have to file bankruptcy, before we'll be broke. Well, what happens when a country goes broke? It can't pay its employees. Everybody on the federal payroll will be laid off. Everybody. If the country goes broke. There won't be a federal employee anywhere. Who's going to work for free and starve to death? You can sit home and go hungry. You don't have to go to work to go hungry. People's not going to work for free. Well, somebody said, well, they talked about raising the debt ceiling. Lose your life, that wasn't necessary. But I appreciate it. I thank you, sir. You don't know, because I know that means a great deal to me. Thank you very much. But they're saying that Congress could raise the debt ceiling. Well, what good is it going to do to raise the debt ceiling if you don't have any money in the country? And we've already got our foreign neighbors have already said that they don't trust us, that they don't trust our leadership, that they don't want to be in a war or anything else, or be associated with us in any kind of dealings, because they don't trust the current administration. Where does that leave you as a country? Well, in my opinion, it leaves you in a pretty dire situation. I'm getting ready to upload a video here in just a little bit, and it's quite a bit more lighthearted than this one. But it deals with some things that you need to take into consideration. If you've been dragging your feet, let me say this as gentle as I know how, get off the couch, put up the potato chips and the pop, and get you something put back in your pantry. The time for, as old saying is, mollycoddling is over. These people have shown you who they are. These people have spoke openly about their intentions. So you need to consider what was said. You need to sit back down and go over that video again if you didn't watch it and listen to it very closely. You need to analyze this thing, because it's full of untruths, full of them. It does have some truths in it. When he said that he was going to be mandating everything that falls under the federal government, and they have any any power over whatsoever, they are going to force this on everybody, or they're going to have to quit their jobs. Many will quit their jobs. Many nurses and doctors, many doctors have retired. Many nurses have quit. Others have retired. And this is just the start of it. If you think you've seen nurses quitting and hospitals shorthanded, you ain't seen nothing yet. This is going to create a windfall of shortages in the medical field. You know, during the campaign for president in 2020, the statement was made that this was going to be a dark winter. Well, I think he missed the winter, or maybe he didn't. Thank you, Kimberly. We appreciate that very much. We appreciate you all too. Listen, when I say I love you guys, I do. You all make our channel. You all make it what it is. And I'm just trying to talk calm right now, because he really frustrated me with what he said, the way he said everything. My trust is not in him. My trust is not in any politicians or any men. My trust is in the Lord Jesus Christ. Always will be. This is what frustrates me the most, I think, out of all this. Let me just be real candid with everybody and just talk freely right here, as I try to do most times. But I try not to bring a whole lot of this into this channel. But I'm going to in this video because of what it's dealing with. I think the thing that frustrates me the most about what's going on right now and what I just heard him say is the fact that I know that I have many family members that are not ready for this. And it angers me in my spirit over that. Be ye angry and sin not. This creates what's called a righteous anger in me. When I feel like that people are being unduly mistreated, when I feel like people are being lied to, and they're not being able to see through the lies, they're being deceived and led right into something that's really going to damage them and hurt them severely. And there's many people on YouTube that we talk to that come to our channel and they listen for a little while and then they leave because they think we're fear mongering. And this is not fear mongering. We're talking about issues here of life and death. We're talking about issues of people going hungry, issues of people maybe having to go through a winter without any kind of heat, because who knows what the next mandate might be? Who knows what the next thing that rolls down the line might be? Who knows what kind of laws Congress may pass next? And just because we've got Republicans in office don't mean anything. They've sat on their hands and done nothing for years and years and years. They're useless. All those Republicans up there in the Senate and House, they're as useless as my grandma used to say, they're as useless as tits on a boar hog. Useless. This whole crew, what we've got to come to understand is that this whole crew is full of a spiritual wickedness, that we are fighting spiritual wickedness. We're not fighting individual people. We're fighting spiritual wickedness. We're fighting the principalities and powers that are in the high places right now. I'm ready for that. I've come to the point, I've studied about this a lot in the last year and a half. Everybody's got a breaking point, or so they say. And you have to consider that yourself, because with this mandate, there's going to be a lot of you have to make decisions, and you'll have to decide what your breaking point is. I don't have one. I've come to understand that with all these mandates that's just been made today and everything that's coming in the future, and I know there's more coming in the future, I have come to grips with myself and my Savior that if I am not able to visit my family after what's going on at some point, I'm fine with that. Whether it's my grandbaby or my brothers or my sisters or anybody, I'm fine with that. I'll have to live with it. I'm not going to give up my principles and what I think that the God of creation would have me do. I'm not going to give up any of that for anybody. Absolutely not. There's not a person alive on this earth that I'm willing to give up what I know is truth. And there's going to be a lot of you have to come to that conclusion, and you're going to have to make decisions. You're going to have to draw a line in the sand somewhere. What are you going to do when that time comes? We'll have to draw that line right here at the Keys household too before this is over. We all will. Every single body listening to me today will have to draw that line somewhere, or you'll have to just leave it open and go right ahead and take all the verifications and go along with the government and do what they tell you to do and act like they tell you to act, and there'll be consequences. Yeah. There'll be consequences. Well, This is where I live. This is where my family lives. And I won't give it up easy. Nor will I give in to their mandates or their scare tactics or anything else they have. And I pray you don't either. And I pray that you're prepped in such a way that you can avoid that as long as possible. So I had to get on here and air that a little bit. Now, I've not read any of the chat. I normally don't do this. I normally read the chat some when I get on a live, but this was kind of a spur of the moment thing. I thought about just doing a video on it, but something about just talking to you live. I don't know. I feel like I'm more in touch with you somehow. I don't know. But there's things going on that we can't prevent. It's just that simple. Guys, if you're a follower of Christ and you read the scriptures, you know that there's things going on that you and I cannot prevent. Now, and I'm not throwing off on anybody but saying this. People say we need to have these rallies and have these protests and all that kind of stuff. Don't waste your time protesting. When you protest, you do not remove the cause of the problem. And if the cause of the problem isn't removed, then all the protests in the world don't help anything. All it does is give you an outlet to scream and holler and make you feel a little bit better emotionally. But there are just things that we cannot change. There are things we can change. We can change our walk with the Lord Jesus Christ. We can improve that. We can come to the conclusion that we either are or we're not, that he either is or he isn't. And I've said that for a long time. We either are followers of Christ or we're not. We either know that he is God or he isn't. There are no in-betweens in this stuff. And we're coming into an age of time that the sheep are going to be separated from the goats. And let me warn you again. I've said this before. Let me warn you again. It will be a man's own family that will offer him up to the authorities when it comes down to the line. I'm just telling you, that's the way it is. That's the way it'll be. Know who your friends are. Know who you can depend on. And those that you have doubts about, do not reveal anything to them. Nothing. Remember, I did a teaching. I don't know if you've went over it and watched it or not. Don't know if any of you have seen it. I did a teaching on obeying the laws of the land and what that entails. It would be worth your time to look that up. If I can think, I'll try to put it in a link in the bottom of this description when I get off here. About obeying the laws of the land. What does the scripture actually say about obeying the laws of the land? Well, you need to know. Just because a magistrate passes a law doesn't make it legal in the eyes of God. God ordained these people to punish evildoers and to reward the righteous. When they pass laws that do the opposite, they are not ordained of God. You need to go watch that video. I'll try to, like I said, I'll try to think to attach it under this when we get off here. But guys, we've got to keep our preps close to our chest. We've got to keep our thoughts close to our chest. We've got to keep our possessions close to our chest right now. And from here on out, you don't talk to anybody. Don't be a braggart. Oh my gosh, don't be a braggart about what you've got and what you're doing. No, keep it close. Keep it under wraps. Nobody needs to know your business. Family or nobody else. You've got to do this. You've just got to do this. You've got to buckle down. I'm going to get off of here. I love you guys. And this isn't the end of the world. We'll have more videos. There'll be more videos. We'll do it right on. I'm going to upload one here when when this one's over, I'll be putting one on here in the next probably 10 or 15 minutes. And when you watch this video that I'm getting ready to upload, think about what your grandmothers, your great-grandmothers went through in order to survive. The video is kind of a lighthearted video and kind of upbeat, but I want you to think about what your great and great-great-grandmothers, how they survived. Think about that, because we may have to go back to that very soon. And I hope that you're ready for that. Guys, everybody needs recipe books. If you don't have recipe books, get some. Go to the thrift stores. Go to the Goodwills. Wherever you need to go, find some old-fashioned cookbooks that teach you how to cook from scratch. Okay? Medicines, vitamins, any kind of books on herbs and medicine, stuff like that, natural medicines, we need them. Get them. Yeah. Anyway, guys, I love you. There's so much I wanted to say that I couldn't, but I think you get the gist. There's a lot more coming than what we've seen. And we are absolutely going to see a huge, huge reduction in healthcare workers. Watch for it. And it's going to affect the health of this nation. So love you. We'll see you all in the next video. Oh, one thing I forgot to say, I will go back over the questions and comments after the video's over, okay? Thank you, guys.